Well, I guess I'm just gonna kind of jump into it. I usually would take a minute to be like, just breathe in some air, breathe out some air, you know? Do something, but I don't know what else to do. I'm scared, and I won't go into it, and I'm all anxious. Spent all goddamn day being cry as fuck. Like, it is one of those, a RWBY finale is always a fucking experience. A finale in general is always an experience for me. It's that time in every series where you're like, did Shannon cry in this one? Go there, and you'll see Shannon has collapsed in upon himself and is weeping all over the floor. Really bad. It's just really gross. No one wants to see it, and yet people watched Anohana when people watched Darling the Franks when people did that shit. People seen it with their eyes. Why'd you do that? No one wanted to see it, and you did it anyway. Why do you do this to yourself? Anyway. Yeah, I don't know what to think really going in. I am concerned. I was not doing myself any favors. The amount of times I've been talking over like the previous episode, and obviously the one that came before that, and just kind of where we are right now, and it just Volume 7 has been one of those things that has paralleled Volume 3 very fucking heavily. Like, throughout we've gone through the series, like, you know, there's been different kind of parallels between the different ups and downs of the series, and I don't mean quality or anything like that. I mean in tone and kind of execution and stuff, and Volume 7 is very, very fucking reminiscent of 3, especially with its kind of, it has its very, like, kind of upbeat, and, you know, it has its very upbeat start, all these fun moments, the people hang out together, obviously, the Vital Tournament back in Volume 3, and then here it's training with the Aesops, and having a good fucking time, and being best friends, and Jean and the thirsty moms, and shit. Like, you have all these things, and then it hits a point. It's called Episode 6 for both of them, because we do like consistency. It's like that. It's like Episode 6s are always a real bastard, and Episode 11s are always fucking bananas. It's wild. Anyway, what am I trying to say? Like it has that, and then it drops off really heavily into that slow descent into darkness. And then it takes a minute to fucking pull you back out. And just people start dying and shit, and it's a real experience, and so going through it again is an experience, like I said. Anyway, I should do normal stuff. Hey, hi, ho, and howdy, everyone. My name is Shannon Elshook, and welcome yet again to another episode of RWBY Volume 7. This time it is Episode 13, The Enemy of Trust, and the finale of the season. So, a couple things I do want to go over quickly before we do get started. Number one, I hope you guys have enjoyed doing the series with me. Up until this point, like I got to start doing the reactions last year with Volume 6, and it has been one of my favorite things to do ever, period, because like I like doing reactions. It's why I do them all the time on my channel. It's why I started doing it, because they were fun. And I finally got to do that with my favorite thing, period, end of story, you know, full stop. Like I got to do with that, and it meant a lot to me to get to do that, because like I really liked the review cap. It was a real fun time, except for that time where a bunch of people came and yelled at me because I thought I was stupid. That wasn't as fun, but all the other stuff was really fun. The really dumb jokes, I mean, that probably helped with the stupid, but they never watched that stuff. I'm just saying, like 1-1-1-1-1-1-1-1-3. Like that was still my favorite joke ever. Point is, such a dumb fucking. Anyway, but made me laugh so much. Anyway, I loved doing the review cap. It was such a fun fucking time. It was my first time ever experimenting with actually editing something. It was my first time doing anything, and I just jumped into that shit. And that's why it took about 24 hours to put out a single episode. And no, I don't mean a day. I mean 24 hours. It's literally like episode 3 or 4 was literally a 20-hour long fucking edit, and it's just me sitting there going blah, 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 blah. I don't remember what episode it was. Episode 3 was terrible because of Volume 4, because I literally went through it and did it 6 times over. It was hell. But anyway, like I used to really love doing it. It was a really fun time. I got to kind of share my thoughts and talk about it and make dumb jokes. Stuff all the time like that. It was a good time. And dumb jokes not in the like, oh, I'm making funny and mocking the show, but I'm making funny and loving it, while also occasionally talking about a silly thing here and there. But like in the end, it was exclusively meant to have a good fucking time and to talk about this thing I very, very much so fucking love. And it's one of those things where like I got to do that, but after a while, it wasn't something I could keep up doing. Like, it was too much for what little time I had. Especially when I started to try and experience new things and stuff like that. So getting to do the reaction instead, starting around Volume 6, was a ton of fun, man. I got to do it. I got to be pretty much relatively on time the whole time. I was really happy I was pretty much relatively on time the entire time here as well. Like, they would be off by a day or so, but, like, they'll always be within the same week. And I've been really happy that I've been able to do that, and I've been able to still talk and fucking talk, can I? But like, just being able to do that has been a fucking treasure of an experience. Getting to meet all you guys, like, I can't say enough how much I appreciate this support just in general on all this sort of stuff. But for this series, it's not my biggest series by any means, but when it does get a lot of love, it feels really, really good to see, and it makes me really happy because I know there's plenty of other people out there who are enjoying this thing with me. This thing that I, again, love dearly. And getting to see all of the love and support on episode 11 in particular was huge. You did totally ruin a joke I had about how, like, oh, a guy disliked, because then immediately the next day the dislike was removed. And it was, I'm pretty sure, replaced with, I'm assuming someone literally just clicked the wrong one on accident, because that's how it happens sometimes. I've been there. And like, I assume that was what happened. And you ruined my joke because I was talking sass, and and now it didn't work out. Now I look like a doofus. Who's to say whether 12 will be much the same? Probably not, but you know, I appreciate the support and love there, no matter how much it is and who's giving it. I really do. You guys are amazing, and I love you dearly. But yeah, that was the biggest thing there, is just I wanted to say thank you for supporting me up until this point. And I'm sorry this intro is probably still going to be a little long. I very specifically set out to not make it as long, and it's why I'm going to talk about the thing I'm about to talk about here in a second. But in the end, there's only so much I'm ever going to be able to do on that front. Yeah, then the next thing I did want to talk about is, I talked about it in the description and in the comments of the last episode. But after having a week to sit over the previous episode, I actually do think there's still kind of a lot more I did want to say. Usually, really all talking about the same stuff. But like, I do think there is more to that episode that I want to talk about. And especially, in a lot of ways, it's more focused on the community rather than the show itself. And I don't mean, I'm not being like, by the way, I'm gonna start spilling the tea, and like, is that what that's called? I've seen people say that. I don't know. We have a sun gif for it, and it's not a gif. It's a picture, Shannon. You fucking idiot. we have a sun thing for it. It's great. Point is, I just want to talk about it. I wanted to. And the thing is, it's a shame too, is because like I do want to share my opinion and kind of my thoughts and where I'm coming from and things I understand, things that are hard for me to fully nail down and understand. See, and a lot of it does come down to like, I see where people are coming from on certain fronts, but I don't always think the response is as appropriate, or I don't think, whatever the case may be, because I try to be very, very open and understanding, even things that just I don't understand as much, because it's not me. It's not me, man. The main point here is no one necessarily wants to sit here and listen to some random straight dude from Montana talk about, you know, a topic like, you know, the one I want to talk about. It's not something that people are lining up in the streets to see. There's a dime a dozen. They're a dime a damn it. But I do think I kind of want to talk about it. Yeah, just kind of give my perception of it. Obviously, my perception is a very biased one. It is not just in RWBY, but as a writer, it is a very, very biased one because I feel a certain way. But again, I don't want to talk about it too much because I want to talk about it in a video of itself, and I don't want to drag this down more than I already have. So anyway, I'm going to try and shoot for one of those here at some point. We will have to wait and see if I get around to it or when I can get around to it, but I would like to kind of do that here at some point. It's just talk about that. I could probably do an 1.5 hour long goddamn video just talking about it because I can fucking ramble. I've been walking around, doing my little pacing thing. I like pace around and go like blah, 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 and kind of run through discussions in my fucking head because I'm a fucking freak. But like I do. I think everyone kind of does that, right? And you're always winning it, isn't it, right? Like you're always, I won, and then it actually happens. You're like, fuck, I wasn't prepared for this. I thought I won. Damn it. But it's not a debate. Anyway, point is, I was running through that, and I just realized I kept fucking slipping into giant long ass tangents, and I'm like, that's why I definitely cannot talk about it too much in this intro. Especially since we're already 11 minutes. Fuck. Anyway, that was one thing I wanted to get out of the way, so you guys know what's something I'm hoping to get to here soon. We will have to wait and see. The other big thing before just kind of talking about the episode where we left off and what we're about to jump into is obviously it's technically February 2nd as of right now because I was not able to get to this until the exact right time. And obviously episode 12 came out on the 1st, but I didn't realize when that was actually coming out at the time. Like it didn't cross my mind like, oh hey, that is what that is. Fuck, you could probably talk about it. But I figured since this came out on that same day as well, I feel today is the day to talk about it. And I don't want to go off too much on it. If you've ever seen any video I've ever fucking done, I fucking find a way to talk about how Monty makes me sad in there somewhere. And I've just talked about it in at fairly decent long discussions in the past, whether it be, you know, the RWBY Volume 6 finale or obviously Indomitable was the big one, which I actually put back up as the channel trailer for like I think I want to put it up for like the rest of the week or maybe even the month. That's just Monty month. He deserves it, man. RWBY month in general, to be honest, but for, you know, Monty. I don't know, so I don't want to spend a massive amount of time talking about it, but I do, of course, always want to take a moment to, you know, remember this person who gave us this thing that we love so fucking dearly, that gave me in particular a lot. I've talked about it plenty before, and it's always been a thing. Like especially I was going through Twitter earlier today and seeing people kind of tell their stories about Monty. It always hurts, but it always is beautiful in a way too. I mean, this is a man that none of us, well, not none of us, but the vast majority of us never ever met, who never ever knew our names, who never ever knew we ever even existed. This is someone who just, there was that massive disconnect between us, and yet that's someone who completely changed a good few of our lives. I'm not here without Monty, and I mean that in multiple different ways, both from the like inspiring to the completely fucking depressing. I wouldn't be, and it's a sad thing to think about, but it's also I think it's a really important one because Monty to me gives me an immense feeling of hope, which isn't always something you think about when you considered, I mean, hey, this kind of where the story ends. It doesn't necessarily feel like something that should inspire a bunch of hope, but it does for me. Because Monty's whole life story was him, as short as it was him going out and creating things and telling his story and being an artist and doing all these things and affecting people greatly and changing lives, whether he realized it or not, whether it was something so simple as like a joke or a fucking DDR dance, or Monty was a wild motherfucker. he's a class dude. Or whether it be RWBY, he changed people's lives. And again, I know because I'm here. I am here on YouTube. I am here talking about this. I am breathing. And those things wouldn't be happening if it wasn't for Monty. I wouldn't have tried voice acting. I wouldn't have fallen in love with it. I wouldn't have started talking about this. I wouldn't have started talking about anything quite like this. I wouldn't have ever picked up a fucking microphone. Or at least if I did, it would have been a long time off. And again, considering the other part I keep kind of referencing, might never have gotten the chance. Monty, to me, means hope. He always gave me that feeling, because as mean as life is, as unfair as it is, and I think that's an incredibly important thing to always remember, especially in relation to the show. I think it's honestly one of the top 3 biggest themes in the show, is how unfair life is. You ever notice how everyone who ever dies in the fucking series never dies a good death? It's always, oh, you're gone now. Well, fuck. Like, the whole series starts with the concept of, oh, here's the coolest motherfucker who ever goddamn lived, swagging about like a goddamn champion, and then he got taken out by the fucking sniffles. Like, it's the whole, like, it's a huge theme in the show, and I think it's, whether it was intentional from the start, I think a lot of it, like, you get that from real life, because that's what real life is. It's not fair at all. Monty is the perfect example of that. Losing him was such a fucking out of nowhere thing. I was talking about it with, miscreation or whatever his thing is on YouTube. He's great. He's great. He's a good friend of mine. I was talking to him about it earlier, and I was like, I remember that kind of week as it played out. I remembered the first bits of information we heard. I remember the slightly worse, and then the much worse, and then just hearing you was gone. And it's a fucking horrible thing, and it was out of nowhere. No one fucking saw that one coming. Man went in to go do a thing and just never came back out. And it's not fair. It's unreasonable, and it can happen at any time, but that isn't necessarily the thing to take from it. It is in a way, but more in use that information to drive yourself. Not as something to be afraid of, but use it as a propulsion. Use it to push you to do more things. And I still only can say I've ever done so much. I've worked on my YouTube channel. I have worked on my voice acting. I have worked on trying to push myself on things here and there, my writing. But in the end, have I told my story? No, I haven't. Have I done this? No, I haven't. I still have a long fucking way to go. But I wouldn't have done any of it if it wasn't for that feeling of that motto of always keep moving forward. That message, without it, I'm not here and I'm not doing what I'm doing. And I will never be able to thank Monty enough for that. Something that both he himself and he, not intentionally, ended up instilling in me. And I think it's really, really important. And I always want to give him love and respect for it. Again, it's been 5 years now. And it's crazy to think it's been that long. It really is. still kind of feels like it's yesterday sometimes. It's that weird blend of it feels like it's yesterday and it feels like it never ever even happened. But it did. It happened quite a long time ago now. In the end, kind of like how I said it in my Indomitable reaction, I hope he knows, I hope he knew, I hope that information, that feeling of gratitude towards him would somehow get to him someday. He changed a lot of lives, and I wouldn't be where I am without him. And I can't ever thank him enough for it. And I'm not going to cry anymore. I've done that so much enough today. I can't deal with that anymore. I've just been bawling my eyes out since before I got off work. When Monty left, there's that light, that light of just, that light in the world, that beautiful creative spark, that thing that we all fell in love with, got left behind. So it's up to people like us, people like CRWBY, and they have done a fucking phenomenal goddamn job with it, to take that light and use it for something else. And that is my hope one day, is I can take that light and use it right. Insert Indomitable light that shines its powers mine bit. I just hope one day I can make him proud. I hope one day I can say that I've done things like he has, and I've been able to tell my story, and I have been able to change something for someone for the better. That's my hope. Hopefully one day I can make him proud. I know fucking CRWBY has. Again. Yeah. So I'm going to end this real quickly with, we love you, Monty. We fucking miss you. And to everyone out there, I sincerely hope you guys are having an okay day. I hope you take that same kind of energy, that motto, that drive, that passion, and I hope you can take it for yourself. Whether you're a creative type or not, whatever it means to you. If your drive is to go out and sweep floors, fuck it. Then that is something. That is your thing. That is your light. Whatever it is, as long as it's not like murder, just don't do that. As long as it's not that, then take it, man, and run with it, and, do something. I think he'd be proud of that. Anyway, I'm going to end it here so that because otherwise I'm just going to keep rambling, and I will eventually hit a point where I will cry again, and I'm like, I can't do that, especially since, again, I have to watch this now. Anyway, again, I said I wasn't going to bog this down. It still ended up being super long. Anyway, real quickly before we do get started, let's quickly run over what actually happened, not in detail. In the previous episode, it was pretty compact. It was Team RWBY versus the Aesops, which was fucking phenomenal. I honestly think it is one of the best fights in the fucking series. Not just because it's fucking flashy, it's awesome, it's cool, but it's one of the most dynamic, and it shows the fucking growth of Team RWBY like out the ass. It is absurd. I'm sorry. One last thing I would talk shit about. I understand some of the Crow stuff. I get it. To a point, I get it. Anyone who's ever said the Aesop's RWBY fight didn't make sense, get eyes. Sorry. I needed a laugh after what I was just doing for the past 10 minutes. Get eyes and watch it with the eyes that you have that work. Because literally the whole fight is them doing exactly what they need to do, where they need to do, when they need to do it, who they need to be doing it to make that fight work as well as it did. It was extraordinarily well done. I will have none of your sass. Make no sense. And even and also it's the same people who also pay zero attention to context and themes, which also play a huge role in that fight as well. People are fucking goofy. Anyway, the RWBY and ASAP's fight was fucking class. We got the song. We got 3 different guest singers in alongside Casey this time. Adrian from the Nevermore song from the previous soundtrack, who was fucking fantastic there and just great is here. Don M. Bennett, who came in, obviously Elm's VA as VA for a bunch of other stuff. Totally class, and I think remarkably she's the one who starts off that song. It's fucking great. Don, you kicked ass. And Aaron, I think it's Aaron Riley. I'm sorry if I am fucking that up, but I think it is Aaron Riley, who I wasn't super familiar with, and I was trying to find out who the fuck is this person. I can't figure out who they are. And if I'm not mistaken, trying to go through stuff is at least from the biggest thing I can see is just a fucking huge RWBY fan. Very possible she does a bunch of other stuff, and I just am not aware of it, so I am apologizing for that there. If I'm just not giving you enough credit, and I probably am not. But yeah, just a fucking massive fucking RWBY fan apparently, and fucking a great singer too. So shouts the hell out to all 4 of them. Casey's being a real one. Apparently, a little while back, it was hey, by the way, there's one song I'm really, really looking forward to, and everyone was is it the Caleb song? It's that's good, but is it War? So that's good, but that's all it means. I don't know what the fuck to expect here. So that's fucking terrifying. Thanks, Casey. Terrifying in a great way. Anxious, anxiety-inducing, nervous. Some wild shit afoot. Anyway, there's that. Winter chicken. That's cooking fire dinner. Oh no, don't cook Winter Cinder, you bitch. Anyway, Winter, Penny, and Cinder are all together with Freya. That's gonna go horribly. Literally no way that ends positively. So looking forward to that, I guess. There's that. Neo and Juniper are together, facing each other down. That's horrible as well. I have been extremely fucking concerned about that one. This has to go wrong. I've taken a week to think about it. There's technically a chance no one dies. Will they? Fuck no, we're screwed. But there's a chance, and I want to believe in it. Anyway, there was that. Robin is currently out like a fucking sack of potatoes. She's out. Clover's dead as fuck. That's not awesome. Crow's crying his eyes out. That's honestly worse for me. It's really, I know there's a dead man, but also leave Crow the fuck alone. Tyrion's off being just an ass. We still don't know what the hell's up with Watts, if he's dead or not. It's very much a thing he could be. We just didn't drop him. That you saw. Or he's in prison. Or he's fucking, I don't know, he's Watts. Dude, he could be on fucking vacation in the Bahamas. Probably not, because those don't exist on Remnant, but whatever, shut up. All that is happening. And James is off going and getting the staff. So, a lot going on. There's 24 minutes. A decent chunk of that's going to be credits. So this one's gonna cliffhang like a motherfucker. So that's cool. Again, we do know very much so that going into this, it is leading directly into Volume 8. It is a direct continuation. Shit that will still be very fucked by the time we get to Volume 8. No matter if we literally stopped all the problems here. Salem still got a bunch of flying monkeys. Apes. Together strong. I'm sorry. Yeah, so no matter what happens, it's gonna be terrible. I'm probably gonna cry. I'm hoping for the best. We'll have to wait and see. I'm not going to bog down the intro, Shannon says. Well, we did it. Fucking past the Suzuha episode. I can't. We've done it now. That says 30. I didn't put a long break of faff in the beginning. So, yep, no, we've done it. We've passed it. We're that much step closer to the fake intro length and of 43 minutes. And now it's just, this is real. And Suzuha, I'm sorry. I've failed. And then my entire heart just died. Okay, so anyway, I'm sorry. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and get started here with episode 13 of Volume 7, The Enemy of Trust. I'm very scared. Thank you for everyone who put up with me here in this long-ass intro, but obviously I had a lot to talk about with Monty, the previous episode, and that was mostly it, actually. Wait, what the fuck was the thing? Just in general support you guys being amazing. That was the other thing. I look like a schmuck now that was the last thing I fucking forgot. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and do this. I'm very scared. Forgive me if I do cry, because I will. Deal with it. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and get started. Also, one last thing before we do get started, I am sorry. Last year, I completely skipped Nevermore. I did. I completely avoided it the entire time. I just got off the fucking brakes, let go of it. Because I specifically wanted to wait for the soundtrack reactions, which both was just emotionally devastating for me to do. But I did kind of like it, so I'm not sure. I guess if I let it run, I let it run. If I stop it, I guess you know what I'm gonna do. But I'm not sure. I don't know if I can wait that long again. Because I was a fucking wait for my favorite song. Favorite song that volume. I'm dying. Okay. Much like Freya will be. That's so depressed. Stop. I'm gonna go ahead and get started in 3, 2, 1, go. I don't know the lyrics. I'll tell you that right now going into this. Can't call this caption to save me. We dreaming like a better world. You can dream until eternity. Always hoping for a lightning bolt. It's gonna save you from this gravity. And I hope this so many times. The world of charm. Oh, even it could set you free. You could just believe. Just dream. I always fuck those two up. You could just believe. Fuck, Clover. I open my eyes the worst time, buddy. Oh, I'm so. I don't think anyone expected it to shake out quite the way it did with Deusop's, man. Everyone was like, either they're a traitor, someone's a traitor. I mean, we did end up fighting in the end, but it wasn't for. Fuck. Dark, we yield to dark. Love. Open up your eyes, trust love. Comes in disguise. Otherwise, crazy Shannon's not drinking iced coffee like a fat fuck. Impossible. Oh no.
Up.
Oh shit.
Got you outnumbered.
Please be safe, all of you. And Neil, please be good. I want
Alright then.
to marry you, woman. Don't do this. It's such a class bean. Don't fucking be an ass. She's sneaky. Damn it. She's such a smug ass. That could have gone infinitely worse. Oh shit. Gotta admit, first time we're seeing her fight against more than one person at a time.
Freeze!
Kind of get the impression that's gonna be the way to deal with Neo at times, is just don't face her one-on-one, because you will not fucking get by. Please stop being such a bitch. Oh, fuck. Please, both of you live. Cinder, you're cool, but also if you could not, that would also be awesome.
And I refuse to starve.
You could go with a diet. Yeah, that's me saying that, dude. You're gonna take that one to heart. Damn, you know what I mean. Oh, shit. Winter, you can fly, right? Do you get a big Nevermore as well to save you?
I have come too far to be stopped by some toy!
Damn right. Oh, shit's a manticore. That's awesome. Oh no, I hate everything about that. Please, dear God, save her. Fuck.
What are you doing? My life doesn't matter.
Yes, it does.
I disagree.
Damn right. You hit her with the coal rest. Free, if you want to pull some sneaky shit and just blow this bitch out the window while she's not looking. I mean, you know, lady, but you do got maiden powers. Let's be real. Little man, you're so slow. Also, Neo is still out here somewhere, right? Please don't get split up and then she's gonna pull some sneaky shit. Oh, I bet she would.
They went this way. Come on, hurry.
What did I just fucking say? Oh god, good dodge. God damn it, Neo.
Oscar!
Clothesline that bitch. Oh, that's so fucking wrong. Why would you do that? I knew that was gonna fucking happen.
Drop your weapon.
Fuck with his heart.
Pull back.
Okay, we got actual Nora again. Oh, that's fucked up.
This way.
You know, a man just had a fucking heart attack seeing it. God damn it, I knew you was back there. Fuck.
You had your time in the sun. But now I'm afraid your time is up. Yes. I've been waiting.
Good to hear, Lucy.
For some time, I think. What was I waiting for?
To blow this bitch away.
Me. No,
Oh shit.
I had a job to do.
I mean, she might be old, but with age comes experience and wisdom and fucking, yeah. The Raven put up a fight. You think this old bitch is not gonna? Jesus.
What is that?
That's the power of a fully realized maiden.
It's too cold. We have to do something. Penny!
I'm sorry.
I'm scared.
Don't be.
We weren't ready to become huntsmen.
That's not true.
Then why aren't we holding the relic? Now Salem has the land,
Because it's
Ironwood
not
has the
fucking
staff,
easy,
and we
dude.
have nothing!
Ren, that's enough.
Hello? Anybody there? Can you hear me?
Pietro,
Our scrolls?
oh,
Doctor!
sweet boy.
Finest mind in Atlas! Maria, what are you doing?
Grabbing our getaway ship. We need to hightail it out of here. Where are you?
The Academy training room.
We slipped away from some soldiers, but it won't be long before the— Ah!
They're here!
We're on our way. Just stick together.
Oscar! Oscar!
I'm sorry, but you all need to go on without
Damn
me.
it, little
What are you
man.
talking about? There's something I have to do alone.
James. Is it James or Neo? Either way, some... Oh, fuck. I am afeared we're going to get our answer on this one. Freya, can we talk? Baby girl? Hey,
Are you okay?
do we freeze out
I had a job to do.
the asshole? She gone?
I was supposed to protect the power of the maiden until I was ready. I worry I may have lost track of time. But you can tell James that I'm ready now.
Ma'am, if you do that,
I'll be gone. I know I have a hard time remembering, but I remember that.
Oh, I fucking love Freya. I don't want to say goodbye to her now. Damn. It does fit in the thing I was saying earlier, but... Oh.
What's your name?
it's Penny, ma'am.
Oh shit, is it really about to...
Are you the one?
Yeah, I think we're about to get our answer one way or the other. Fuck.
Winter, thank you.
You
I
have
know that
any
must
who
have
you
been
think it
difficult.
is, man.
I'm so sorry.
He coming down with the cane. That's a real Oz look. Fuck.
And whom do I have the pleasure of speaking with?
Still just me.
It was smart of you not to bring the lab down here. I wouldn't trust me either.
More complicated than that.
Trust is what I'm hoping to fix. I know we can still figure this out. All of it. Together. Please.
Do you intend to fight me?
No. That's exactly what she wants.
You shouldn't have to, dude.
I guess it's because of Oz, but holding it helps calm me down when I'm afraid.
You still think I'm afraid?
We all are.
Yes.
It's what we do and our fear that reveals—
That's easy for you to say! You can label me whatever you'd like. But the fact of the matter is, I was right! The minute I softened, let my guard down, that's when Salem had her opening.
If you abandon Mantle, you abandon
Playing
our best
right
chance
into
of
her hands,
reuniting the
man.
world. You abandon Remnant, leaving millions to fend for themselves so a few can survive. What kind
All excellent philosophical points that won't matter if Salem wins.
Listen to me!
No, you listen.
You can
I
at
am
least
done
try.
letting others' inability to see the big picture get in the way of doing what's right. Robin, the council, this kingdom, even you.
And you're as dangerous as she is, James.
James, to my friends call me. To you, it's General.
You fucking did not. Oh, I hope Oz come whoop your whole ass, James. Bitch, would you? How's it feel to lose it again, bitch?
No.
I hope it fucking hurts. Don't you fucking dare. You want to be careful. You gotta do it, man. You gotta try. Oh yeah, you gotta fucking try. Oz, now would be the time to pull some crazy shit.
Oscar.
Thank God that's a real long drop. Oh, fuck. Oh, goddamn, yes. Don't.
The single quality that is common across every living creature on this planet is fear.
Okay. She dipped like crazy. She fucking out of there. Oh God.
Did you do?
It's funny then that as common as fear is, we so easily underestimate its power.
She really fucking could do it.
Are you alright? Penny, what happened?
She's gone.
No. She's a part of you now.
Fear of growing close to someone. The subsequent fear of loss. Fear of failure.
Where's Oscar? And the relic?
And as more people depend on you, those fears can take on greater power.
Fuck. You two please stick together. Like, I know a lot of people really pick on the Crow and Clover thing. If a motherfucker needs a friend right now, I think Robin would be the good person to just fucking.
It is who we become.
Goddamn, man. You still just flying, son?
I suggest
God damn,
all
you got fucked
surrender
up, girl.
and comply with the General's orders.
We can't do that.
Come on,
Then-
sis.
I suggest you run.
No, you're hurt! I'm not going to leave you like this.
You're not leaving me. I'm giving you a head start. This is Special Operative Schnee in need of immediate medical assistance. Send reinforcements over.
We all have to carve out our own way. Guys, we need to go.
You coming, Penny?
Will you be proud of that person?
Oh, she is.
Will you forgive them?
Oh. Oh, sweet
Will
Jesus.
you understand why they felt the need to do the things they did?
You still just brooding, bitch? Calm down. Damn it, that's really frustrating. There's still a question.
Recognize them. Or
If
will the person staring back at you be the very thing you should have feared from the start?
we did lock his ass
Find
up.
out, sooner or later.
Don't come break his ass out immediately. God damn it. That's a fucking
power.
drop.
These memories. You're back, aren't you? You saved me.
Actually, you saved us. Oscar,
Stop. All I want to know is how we save Atlas next.
I fucking love how this finale was done. Like, there was so much shit to work with, and I mean, I fucking hate that they now have the relic.
These readings can't be right.
Oh, don't. Oh, fuck. What the fuck is that? Is that a fucking whale? A big fucking flying whale? Are we just fucking ReZero now, bitch? What are you doing? Oh. Okay. Well, I knew it was gonna be awful when she did show up. That was fucking horrendous. Fuck. God tier direction by Carrie. And holy shit. I do want to just give it a quick shout out while this is playing, because I'm gonna forget it otherwise. The fucking song that was playing earlier, whatever it was, when yeah, that was fucking phenomenal, and this is probably gonna be a whole thing too. Is I don't know if I want to sit through it or not, just because I don't fuck. Okay, I've heard that much. I'm gonna leave it there. Okay. Fuck. That, yeah, like I was saying, there was so much that they had to deal with and work through and figure the fuck out in this last episode. And it was really, that's fucking, oh god. It was something that I was really worried to see exactly how they were going to work it out. I had faith. I always have faith, but it was going to be very interesting to see how it was going to play out, what was going to get resolved, exactly how. And it was kind of wild. Okay, so let's try and run down some things as we go along. The Relic of Knowledge is now firmly in the hands of Cinder and Neo. Well, at least in Cinder, her arm that she just grew back because fuck it, I guess, because god damn it, Cinder, you don't know when to just calm down for 7 seconds. So they have the relic. That's a problem. Now my question is, what are they going to do with it now? Are they going straight to Salem to go drop it off? How's that going to go? Salem was pretty pissed with Cinder last we checked. But I mean, hey, she has come back again in the end. She fucked up before, but she did end up in the end with the fucking relic. So, I mean, potentially maybe that's enough to make Salem all happy again. I don't know. She's really creepy when she's happy. Yeah, so I'm very curious to see how that shakes out. I'm so fucking glad all of Juniper made it through that, at least without too much physical damage. The emotional, like, because I knew Neo. Not only is Neo just a really big fucking threat as a fighter, but she has one of the best semblances to completely and totally fuck with people. Until the end in Fear. Ah, shit. Again, now I'm gonna have to wait for Fear, and it's gonna be my favorite fucking song. God damn it! But I've decided I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna stay strong, damn it. It's gonna hurt just as much as Nevermore did. Anyway, I was really worried that was gonna go a lot worse because again, Neo is again just not. She's just a big fucking threat on her own. But the fact that she can be as manipulative is similar to Emerald. She's like Emerald, but just she can't affect everything else quite as much. And like it's tangible instead of just purely mental. And I just remembered we have fucking end credit screens. Let me watch this first. Oh, we do have Monty at the end too. Oh shit, do we not have one this? We don't. We have the Monty shout out. Oh, fuck. That makes me sad, but I mean, I kind of get it, to be honest, especially since, again, we're going to be running right the fuck into the next one later. Damn. Okay. All right. All right. Fuck. Yeah. Actually, before we do continue any further, I'm going to go ahead and end this recording real quick, and I'm going to immediately start another one, because otherwise it's going to fucking desync like a motherfucker. So I'm going to try and do that. Hopefully, that fixes the problem. If it doesn't, well, I guess fuck me, and you're going to be listening to me talking. I'm going to be over here going da-da-da-da-da while voices da-da-da-da-da. So, you know, I'm trying, though. An attempt is made here, you see. Alright, so where was I? Again, Neo is a very manipulative person, and her semblance really fucking, accentuates that and can use that, can make very good use of that. And I wasn't sure exactly how they were going to do it. It seemed like there was no way that she wasn't going to try and fuck with them in some way. I didn't necessarily see her using Nora against Ren, but it is literally the perfect choice she could have made there. Like, so I know some people had theorized like maybe she would try doing something with Pyrrha, and while I do think that would have been very effective, they do also know that Pyrrha is very much dead. They are very much aware of that at this point. So I don't think it would have worked as well as some people think it would have. Nora, I do think was a really good choice on her part because it's something very immediate. It's someone who's literally with them as they're going. Obviously, he'd already caught on to her right away because she had the fucking thing, but it was just in that quick moment of, oh, hey, it's me, by the way, and then he froze, which is understandable. I don't think I wouldn't have done the same thing. There's a lot of negatives in there. I think I probably would have ended up doing the same thing myself. But, you know, I didn't see that. And seeing Ren cry, Ren is a really hard one to watch cry because he's Captain doesn't feel anything. That's his whole thing is he's not super emotional. He's very calm. It's literally his fucking semblance. It's how he works. So when he does fucking break down, like, you know, Volume 4 and this, it's really fucking hard to watch. Again, it's really hard. It's the same reason why it was really, really fucking hard to watch Penny. Not Penny? What the fuck? Penny 2. Penny 2. Why it's really, really hard to watch RWBY is what I was trying to say, but Penny totally works. Because Penny is also a light that shines. She's goddamn wonderful. Holy shit, by the way, we'll talk about that. It's the same reason why RWBY hurts as much as it does, because, you know, you think about RWBY, she's everything that I talked about before. She's that paragon of virtue and justice. She's the light that shines. She is this bright, sweet being. So when she fucking collapses because she's fucking destroyed on the inside all the time and the mask fades away, it really fucking hurts to see. So yeah, it was really, yeah, it hurt to see that a lot. Again, I'm just glad everyone made it out of there safe. Obviously, the kind of the biggest takeaways from it are, again, Ren being kind of emotionally fucked at the moment, but he's kind of been emotionally fucked all volume. Oz and Oscar are officially separated from the group. Looks like just down in the middle of fucking nowhere. So that looks like it's going to be a thing. Very curious to see how that goes. I did not see the fucking just James trying to off the fucking kid like that coming. I did not see that shit coming. Like he's clearly gone off the deep end. He's clearly not in control of his fucking emotions at this point. He's officially entered antagonist villainy territory. Like I mentioned before, it's hard to really call him a villain because he's trying to do the right thing. He's just fucking up real bad. And he's fucking wrong. he's really wrong. He's doing exactly what Salem wants, and all of that shit. That was some cold-blooded bullshit, James. That wasn't cool. That was pretty fucked up, to be honest. Not only is that just a fucking kid, but that's also Ozpin. You're an ass. That wasn't cool. Go fuck yourself. I want to believe in you. I wanted and want to believe in you. That was fucked up. You're a dick. Anyway. So yeah. Oz and Oscar are separated. Oz is officially fucking back. At least in the same capacity as he's been in for a solid minute now. But having him, I think when we get back to them and seeing those two kind of play off of each other again and kind of figure out each other and where they're at and what they're doing, I think is going to be important, especially potentially Oz trying to talk through things with Oscar, kind of with where they left off and everything. Because, of course, last time they talked wasn't a particularly positive experience. Admittedly, hey, didn't try and shoot the boy, but admittedly he also didn't have hands. Damn it, James. Okay, so anyway, there's that. And, of course, the last big thing to take away from the Juniper situation is everyone is alive, but Neo and Cinder have the relic. Which, again, I'm very concerned about because there's still one more question on there. And is that the kind of thing that could be a good thing? It won't be, but it could be. Now, the question is, do they just keep the relic as a way to keep it away from Good Squad? Do they keep it because obviously they're also, in the end, I think the idea is Homegirl wants to bring the relics together to summon the gods, I guess, because I mean that's what's gonna happen if she does it, and she clearly seems to want all the relics, so in theory she wants to bring the gods back. So is it just to do that, or does she intend to use it as well? Will she be using that question? Will Cinder be using the question? Will Emerald or Mercury use the question? Will Hazel use the question? Will Tyrion won't give a fuck. If there's anyone who couldn't give less of a fuck, it would have been Tyrion. Would Neo use it? Could Neo use it? She can't say the name Jin. Oh. Wild. That's interesting to think about. I called the penny thing, so I'm going to just say it's Neo. I'm calling it here and now. I got the penny thing, I'm going to get this one too. Anyway. I'll get to the penny thing in a minute again. But yeah. So I'm very curious to see exactly how that's going to play out. We do also have confirmation that Watts is still alive. He did get fucking put in jail and not dumped into a fucking lava pit. Because James decided to take too far later in the day. I'll just wait to be a dick. Instead of using it when maybe it would have been useful. Damn it, Ironwood. See, this is a lot more like what I was expecting out of you when you showed up in Volume 2, and you made us all fall in love with you a little, and then you just kind of was an ass. Like literally, the entire time up until that point, I was like, you know, again, you're clearly wrong, you are not doing what's right, you are fucking up, you are an antagonist, but hey, we still love you, we understand where you're coming from, like, I fully get it, and then you shot the fucking kid. Fuck you. I'm sorry. You just drop kicked. You shot all of my respect for you that I still had left off of a fucking cliff. Damn it. Anyway. So now there's also probably a big fucking hole at the bottom. There's probably a big hole at the bottom of this relic cave as well. Who's out here patching up all these relic caves? Anyway, so that's all I think. Watts is still around. Tyrion is now free. So honestly, the villains are looking pretty fucking good. By the end of the volume, the villains have mostly won this time. This is very Empire Strikes Back. This is another kind of almost exclusively, actually. I think the only thing they really didn't win was fucking Cinder getting the powers. Literally everything else went right for them in the end. Fucking everyone is divided. Watts is still around. Tyrion is still alive. Salem is still on her way with apparently a fucking... I was gonna call it a Leviathan. We have a Leviathan. What the fuck is that thing called? The giant fuck you whale is what it is. That was creepy as fuck, by the way. I really, really liked it, but also I hated it immensely. But I really, really liked it, but I hated it. Like, it was really fucking good and horrible. But yeah, no, like, all of that happened, and they have the relic. And no one of them died. Cinder got her arm lopped off, and then immediately grew that motherfucker back, because she's just an ass. Literally none of that went well for us. They didn't lose anything. They lost a CRWBY, I guess. Watts' bag. Looked like a nice bag. Some rings. We lost some rings from them. That was the fullest extent of their failure. That's some bullshit. Like, literally the only thing we actually came out with on top here was we have the Winter Maiden now as Penny. Everything else went wrong. And I guess Jacques in prison, but fucking, so is Watts. So Watts could just fucking pull some silly shit, I'm sure. It's some... Honestly, wouldn't be surprised, because, again, fucking Mr. Gillet, because I refuse to call him Schnee at this point. I wouldn't be surprised if fucking, you know, since they're probably both in prison, Tyrion just comes bust Watts out, and then I don't know what the fuck happens to Jacques. They kill Jacques, they drag Jacques along. Hey, motherfucker, you're in with us now, huh? What do you got left to fucking lose? Nothing. Get over here. Then they have 2 mustaches. Son of a bitch. We only have port. Which means we win. Anyway. You tell I'm trying to be as funny as I can so as to avoid the fear and sadness. Anyway. So that's all that. James' situation isn't necessarily wrapped up, but he officially does not have the Maiden's powers. He has no way to get to the Staff of Creation at this point. So long as Penny is with us. So fuck you, James. I guess is where I'm gonna end that conversation. Like, again, I still understand James, but also, like, dude, you so fucked up. Should anyone thinking I hate him, I actually do still really like that character. But also, what an ass. Anyway, so there's all that. What else do we have to talk about? Aesops are assumedly still tied up and out there, but everyone but Clover should still be alive. So in theory, James still has access to all of the Aesops. He still has access to Winter. I was so fucking scared for Winter. Dude, I really was. Like, there's so many ways that could have gone wrong for her. And don't get me wrong, she got fucked up by the end of that. She got fucking cut up, bruised as shit, ruined her immaculate fucking hair. Fucked her whole arm up. I don't know. Now she matches with James. There's a lot more metal on her to make her match with James, but you know what I mean. There's probably some symbolism, and there's a lot of symbolism with those two. Yeah, the fact that she still leaves off this volume against us is really depressing. But I feel by the end of this, she's gotta pull through, right? Like, also, by the way, listening to fucking Weiss kind of like fucking break at the thought of Winter kind of, I don't know, it really fucking, that hurt. Like, it was just like one or two lines, but it really fucking hurt. Again, I love Weiss way too fucking much to see her sad. I'm just so glad she didn't have to watch her fucking sister die. At least not yet. Anyway, so we have all that going on. James is still totally alive and kicking and around. He just doesn't have what he needs. He does, however, still have a fucking army. And he's gonna need it. Anyway, on to the next thing. Again, all of our folks pretty much made it out okay. The only person we actually lost really was Freya, which did suck because I was actually really liking what little we got of her. I thought was really, really interesting because it's this kind of seems like a senile old lady who just doesn't fucking know what's going on. And just knows, like, I can't let you do something. This is not okay. Maiden powers. I gotta protect these. What the fuck? And then, yeah, that was pretty gnarly fucking power, too. And that's the thing is, too, is getting to see a maiden as about as full-on as I imagine you can possibly be. Like, you're a maiden. Like, if you can only get a maiden when you're young, we obviously don't know the cutoff points and stuff like that, but if you can only get her when you're young, and she is very not young. She's had that shit for a long, long goddamn time. It is a long time to train and practice and shit. Like, Cinder, you've had it for like, what, a year? Year and a half, maybe? You had it for a minute. But you ain't her. Like, even Raven has probably had the powers for a good couple years now. To say, I can't remember. It said when didn't they say like about a decade ago, Leo had said that the original Spring Maiden had run away? I thought it was something like it. I have to go back and relook it up. But like that. And even then, with like that much of a head start, Raven wouldn't fucking compare to Freya. Or at least not to Freya if she had full fucking cognizance. Clearly she didn't. She just had fucking freeze the world for a minute. Anyways, there's that. One more thing I do want to talk about Oscar while we were talking about powers is we still don't know Oscar's semblance, but what Oscar was doing there at the end was the exact same thing that kind of like almost looked like a time dilation bubble, which I almost thought that was what he was going to do. I think he was going to like fucking reverse time or some shit. It's the exact same thing that Ozpin does in his fight with Cinder. She throws that big fucking fire at her. Fire blast. Hits it with a giant fire blast, and then he whams it on the ground and then shoots towards her, all in that kind of like energy ball that he has. So I'm curious to see what that is. Again, I'm curious to see if that is supposed to be his magic or if that is at least Ozpin's semblance, and if that semblance then is just passed down, if it is. If Oscar's stuff is a combination of semblances, how, like, I don't know, it's still very interesting to see where they kind of go with that, because I think there's a lot of different possibilities, and all of them are fine and cool to me, but I just don't know which one it is yet. Anyway, I just wanted to point that out. Anyway, back onto the main powers and to Freya and stuff. So anyway, we got there, Cinder went in, fucked shit up, the fight was really, really cool. There was like one line in there from Cinder is the one I made the stupid go on a diet joke. Anyway, like her kind of bit about like hunger and stuff. Like she's talked about that before. It's like it's a hunger. It burns. Like she's fucking obsessed with it. There's like an emptiness in her that she has to fucking fill. And I kind of love how much as we go on, she gets progressively more fucking creepy and kind of she just loses her humanity. Like when you first meet her, she's classic Bond villain, like oh Roman, like she's that. And at this point, she's this fucking like she still has that, but she's just this fucking like gremlin sometimes, man. And I really like that kind of devolving between the two. Like, it's not crazy like Tyrion, but it's still fucking just evil crazy. I like it. I like it a lot. I hate it, but I like it. RWBY. I like it, but I hate it. But I like it, but I hate it. Oh, God. Anyways, there's that. Anyway, the fight was really, really good. Again, seeing Winter get the shit kicked out of her was not awesome. But I'm glad they were able to hold their own against her. There's some fucking anxiety in that one. Like I had some anxiety over the Crow fight, the Crow, Clover, and Tyrion fight as well. But that one was just fucking like his thing, man. We pulled through in the end. When they actually broke outside, I didn't see that shit coming. That was really fucking cool. Like, I don't know, again, the camera work and stuff is just given such an energy to a lot of the different shots. Like, while they're out there, I don't know, for whatever reason, it just really felt very dramatic. Like, again, obviously, we have a similar kind of fight to compare it to Cinder and Raven. And that's a great fight, and it's real all over the place and stuff. But this one definitely did feel a lot more dramatic and pressing. Like, it felt a lot more anxiety inducing. Like when you watch Raven and Cinder fight, it's like, oh, that's epic as fuck. This is like, oh, please don't. Oh God, it's getting worse. I don't know what's happening. I don't like this. This is scary. It very much is two very different tones for kind of similar scenes. And again, in the end, we pulled through. I really liked Freya's little bit there. It wasn't something I'd even really considered until pretty much the very last. Well, I guess it makes sense to an extent why I would start thinking about it last week, but after the last episode, it hadn't really ever occurred to me that Freya would actually put up much of a fight. Which I actually really got to. I appreciated getting to hear Lucy Christian. That's always awesome. It's my girl Lena, but let me tell you a secret. I'm the Winter Maiden, bitch. It was really good. I really liked getting to see what little we did get to see of Freya. It was she was really top. Anyway, so there's all that. And with kind of how we left off, we have Team RWBY all kind of back together with Pietro and Maria, and now Penny as the Winter Maiden, which is fucking insane. But that's also, again, like, I've been thinking about the Penny Maiden thing since Maidens got mentioned. Like, since we brought that up, I'm like, well, you've specifically created a person who has an aura, who has a soul. She's a young girl. Can you do it? Answers the question. It's something I was very, very interested about, especially after we got the confirmation of how she was actually made in the first place, being Pietro's aura. So it's really, really interesting that didn't negate it, that didn't stop it. So I'm very curious. Yeah, because he'd given her the aura so that at that point it kind of just became her own spirit, her own body. It's really interesting. I'm wondering if in a way that even has to do with her. Well, I don't know if it's, I don't know. I was thinking almost as a cause and effect, but maybe it is cause and effect, but the other way around in ways. But just how that kind of fits into her personality and how she is very human. But then again, it's like, well, she has a soul, of course she is. I don't know. It's just it's really interesting. It's really interesting to me, and I'm glad I got the answer, and I'm totally cool with it because it's fucking kick ass, and Penny's god tier. She's amazing, and she just got even cooler. Penny's the shit. Yes. And I think the biggest reason I used to think that back is because, you know, like one of the first things she ever says is, well, it's my job to save the world. It's harder to be more important to saving the world than being one of the four maidens. That staff is where it is right now because of you. You are officially the person in control of that whole situation now. You just got full reign over what happens to that fucking staff at the moment. I don't know, man. It's crazy to think about, but it's really, really fucking cool. It's honestly, I think, the thing I've kind of wanted most of all. There's also a part of me that I was really wanted, like, what if Weiss? But that's just because I'm extremely biased, and Weiss is one of my favorite characters of all time. That being said, Penny is also fucking fantastic, and I think that's an interesting idea, and I'm very curious to see if we touch on it much more, or how much more we can touch on anything at the moment. But anyway, so they're off there with that. Again, Winter, James, and the four remaining Aesops should be all right. Crow and Robin. They have me very concerned because I think it's not insane to assume they are officially under arrest and probably gonna end up sharing cells with Watts. But like, and Jacques, oh my god. Crow's gonna have to listen to that two mustachioed bastards. Oh my god, poor man. Give this man a break. He's been through way too much already. But yeah, if I had to guess, they are both officially under arrest. I didn't actually see if they were in cuffs or anything. They probably were. But I bet you they were because it had him in his hands like that, looking at Clover's thing. So I bet you they were. You know, I'm very curious to see where we go from here. I'm very curious to see where Crow goes on that front, because I feel like at this point, his whole thing has to be like, I'm gonna fucking murder Tyrion. I feel like that is fairly high on his to-do list at this point. Like, that man has caused him some trouble over the years, and it did not get better earlier today. Again, I do think I want to talk about Crow and Clover more in that other video rather than you know what, fuck it, I can talk about it here. I've made this video super long anyway. Anyway, I won't go. This is the one thing I was worried about. Is like, I'm gonna move on to the next episode. It's not gonna be as prevalent, but I think I can fit it into here to an extent because I think it's important to what I was gonna say. So the Crow and Clover thing for me. A lot of people, obviously people took issues with that episode in general. People took issues with the RWBY and Aesop's thing. Again, we've established that's fucking stupid. The Clover, Crow, and Robin thing, I can understand a little better. I can understand a little better why people would be upset. I don't think their upsettedness is pointed in the right direction the slightest. It should be pointed at the fucking characters, because they're the people who made the goddamn actions. They're the ones that followed it out. It was in character. It made sense to me. I don't know why it was so hard for some people to grasp it, but like, for me, it made perfect sense. I mean, like, Crow teaming up with Tyrion, he did it because Clover kept fucking him over the entire fucking fight. And if you want, so I mean, at this point, it's very hard to put any real blame on Crow besides, you know, like, hey, if I'm in a fight with this dude and this dude keeps fucking yanking on my goddamn sword the whole time, not a euphemism, like, yanking on my fucking sword the whole goddamn time, well, this crazy maniac is someone I'm trying to actually fucking deal with, and who's a crazy maniac murderer. You're like, and he's like, well, we can just get rid of him and then we can do this. At that point, you're like, well, fuck it. What else am I going to do? I can't have him fucking behind me, and I can't have you fucking behind me, so fuck it. Focus on one person, get that shit taken care of, and then take care of the other thing. That makes perfect sense to me. It's not the perfect plan, but it's the one he had to work with. That makes sense to me. Some people, clearly it doesn't make sense to them. Maybe because they didn't have a fucking serial killer trying to stab them in the back during the whole conversation while their dickhead friend kept fucking them over. you know, it's interesting when you're not in the situation, how maybe sometimes you don't have the same anxieties, fears, and concerns as the other person. Anyway, there's that. It's my thing on Crow, and Tyrion. But then there's Clover. And Clover is, I think, someone you can get a little more upset about, because I do think Clover was clearly just fucking up. That being said, I don't think the CRWBY was bad at writing it. No, like, that made sense for Clover. Just because you didn't want Clover to do something doesn't mean it was poor writing. It means Clover made a mistake, because that's the kind of person he is. He is someone who constantly, every 7 seconds on screen he is there, relies on his semblance. He's constantly, I'm good like this, I'm good like that. I'm going to sit here while this groom gets taken out. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Who gives a fuck? I guess I can just do whatever I want. He's extremely fucking lackadaisical. He thinks he can win any goddamn fight, period. He doesn't think it's a problem. And he has orders from the one person he trusts most of all, and he follows them. He's a fucking trained military guy who's ingrained in this feeling of trust James above all else. Listen to James above all else. He's the one who, when he gives an order, you fucking take it. That is what Atlas is. It's what their whole, like, that's the whole thing, is like, pressure people in the military, get all the best hunchmen and work them directly under James, make that all work like that. He's doing what he's trained to do. He's doing what he's, the kind of person he is. Yeah, he was Crow's friend. James is his boss, and James said to put that motherfucker in handcuffs. You're right. Common sense says Tyrion's the bigger threat. Human beings suck ass at common sense. We're the fucking worst. We are fucking idiot morons who do not pay attention to our own well-being for the sake of dumb shit. All the time. You do it too. Like, 100%. If you want to get mad, that is fine. Clover made a mistake. He did a dumb thing. He was wrong. But that is not bad writing. Those are not the same thing. That is a character doing something that makes sense for that character to do, and you not liking it. That's not the same thing. And I'm a dumb being negative because I don't like doing that, but it really pissed me off seeing how many people, and again, I get it if you don't like it. That's fine. No one says you have to. But don't get shitty with CRWBY because you don't understand what's happening. And again, that's not even touching, like, the themes and the context of those characters and their inspirations. Same thing with, like, Aesop's. All of the Aesop's are based on fables. Fables about how teaching a lesson. And all of those lessons are important to their fucking demise, even. Not that they're dead, all of them. But you know what I mean. Like, Elm and Vine don't rely on each other like they should in their fucking fairy tale, or their fable. Fucking Harriet acts like the fucking hare from the fable. She's a fucking, I can win this, how overconfident, I'm so goddamn fast, I can't possibly lose. Marrow, I can't remember, Marrow had a whole dog thing, I don't know that fable. But like, I've seen someone went into actually fairly good detail about all of it, but there's that, and then there's Lucky Fisherman. Like, Clover's whole thing was he needed to learn goddamn patience. He needed to learn to wait. Hey, by the way, wait on Crow. He's probably, I mean, he will fight you in the end, but, like, you can probably take Crow. You can't take Crow and Tyrion, so maybe just figure it out. But he couldn't. He couldn't have the patience. Just like that whole fucking thing of that goddamn story. But I don't know, it irritates me when people just ignore shit completely, don't ever even try to think something through, and then blame it on something else. It's really frustrating. It's really, really stupid. And it makes you look real dumb. I'm sorry. Anyway, sorry. I'm sorry to anyone who didn't agree with it but wasn't shitty about it, that I just put on blast. That was not my intention. it frustrated me a lot. And I wanted to try and explain it to some people, because some people didn't get it, and that's fine if you didn't get it. It's just not cool when you then are an asshole about it. I should know. I was just kind of an asshole about that. Anyway, there's that. But to talk about the other kind of big, obvious Crow-Clover thing, and then I'll pretty much be able to end it here, because I'll be able to move on. I'll talk about Salem's thing again. It's pretty much me going, oh, and then I think that'll be pretty much it, and I can say my goodbyes for the volume. But yeah, the thing I did want to talk about here with Crow and Clover, and it's sensitive and it's an interesting topic to me. Again, like I was saying, it's one of those things where, like, I don't expect people to really care about my opinion. I don't expect anyone to take it with anything less than a fucking big ass pinch of salt. Because, like, I don't necessarily, I don't associate with the same struggles or concerns or worries or lack of representation or whatever the case may be. I don't have that same issue, just because I am the I was about to say standard. I mean, majority. Like, I am in that kind of majority there with just I'm a dude who's into ladies. So I can't always you know, associate with that, but I can understand it. I fully get wanting, you know, a relationship between two male characters, the same way I totally understand wanting a relationship between two female characters, and wanting fucking an asexual character, and wanting this and a trans character like May, and like is May right? Yes, May Marigold. Yeah, I nailed it. Ha! It's just my whole brain just collapsed on myself. I'm about to look like an idiot. Now that's everything else I always say. That was the Joanna thing. Anyway, like, I fully understand wanting that, and I fully understand being depressed that you don't always get it. I understand wanting something and not seeing it there. I understand not, you know, wanting to kind of be able to see yourself in some people, somewhere, something, to feel like you fit in a little bit more, to feel that there's something there. I fully understand and get that, and anyone ever tells you that you shouldn't have that, fuck them. Legitimately, just fuck them. Not like, you know what I mean. Ignore them. Their opinion stops being important at that point. They're just being a shithead for being the sake of being a shithead. I fully understand, and I sympathize, and I respect that. So I understand when people got this idea of Crow and Clover in their head, and it didn't work out, why they were upset. Not only that, but then to have Clover die, I think, also affected people very heavily with something I hadn't really ever... That's not true. I had heard of it before. It's just, I guess I never heard of that term for it. The bury your gaze, I guess, is the idea behind it. I think it is a concept I'd heard before, but I understand that completely. I understand being saddened by that. I understand being upset by that. There are some things, though, about it that I can't fully understand. And again, maybe it's because I don't have that perception of it, because I'm not looking at it from that angle. I don't have a personal investment, and I don't have this or that. I do have a very clear bias in this discussion. And it's not even just the RWBY bias, but the writer bias. I'm a writer, and, you know, I'll get to it in a second, kind of where I'm going with it, but I don't want to get off track too much. But, like, people saw what they wanted to in Crow and Clover, and they saw something they really liked, and I know there's people talking about how, you know, the social media didn't help and stuff, and, like, I get that too. I definitely don't think there was any malice or malintent in any way, shape, or form whether or not you believe that, I can't stop you from not believing it, but I really, really don't think that's the case. They're not the kind of people to really do that. At least if they are, they've fucking hidden it very well over the years. I think in the end they saw something that people latched onto and appreciated and liked, and they're like, hey, let's celebrate it and have fun with it and, you know, have a good time with it. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I don't. I don't think celebrating something and it not working out is the same as trying to bait someone. Maybe it's just because I don't have that kind of negative view of people. And I have a negative view of people, but like, I don't see that kind of energy and intent in it. I don't. I see people trying to have a good time, and then, you know, it doesn't go quite this way, and then people are like, well, you made me feel this way, that it was going to be a thing or this and that. And I'm like, I mean, to a certain extent, you kind of have to have some personal responsibility in like how you feel about something. Like, I mean, you can't always choose how you feel, but like, you feel it. Them going over to like celebrate and have a good time with it and stuff like that, or just have fun with it, doesn't mean it is a thing. It doesn't mean it has to be a thing, and they're not evil or wrong or something. And it's the other big thing I want to get across with this is, obviously there were plenty of people who were upset and sad or just you know, just bummed out by it, if nothing else. I was a little bummed out by it, and I didn't even really think it was a thing. I still don't necessarily really think it's a thing, but I get it. If it was a thing, I'd be 100%. I'd be cheering that motherfucker on, like, God damn it, Crow finally found something in his life. Which is the same reason I'm going to talk about the other thing later with Robin. Not everyone's like that, but obviously I'm just more specifically talking about the people in general. Well, I want to talk about, I want to give my perspective and say that I understand. If nothing else, I just want to say I understand. And I do want to ask the people who did go out and kind of make an outer ass of themselves, because there was a couple. And its thing is, a lot of people have kind of compared it to the Adam thing, and it is a little comparable to the Adam thing, as people saw something they wanted, and then when it didn't happen, they kind of got shitty about it. And again, it's not everyone. I can't stress that enough. Not everyone. If you were into the idea of Lucky Charms or Fair Game or whatever it is, that's cool. Again, I was on board with it. It was not like, that's how it is. That's how it is for me. This is my headcanon. But like, I was like, if that's how it went, then cool. Same way I view every ship in the show. It's how I was with Arcos. It's how I am with Lancaster and fucking whatever the fuck Weiss and Jean's thing is. Whatever. I was going to say whatever. I know what. It was the same thing I was with Renora into now that it is a thing. And the way I have always been with Bumblebee and Black Sun. Even though, admittedly, more these days I'm a little more like, hey, what about Bumblebee, though? I'm a little more pushing for it myself. But if it didn't happen, I'd still be fine. It's the way I view any of that sort of stuff. Regardless of relationship between who. It really doesn't matter to me. Of course, I have my wants, but in the end, I will never let my wants take away from the show. I will never let my wants take away from that. Because, like, yeah, I'll be bummed. There's plenty of things that I've wanted in RWBY that didn't happen. But it didn't kill the show for me. It didn't ruin it for me. And I won't ever let that ruin it for me. Like, I want Weiss to go on and live the perfect happy life as the Ereshkigal Company and the greatest huntswoman who ever lived on goddamn Earth. Remnant, whatever, shut up, let me have this, and get married, have a good time, big family, change that name forever, and have a good time for always and eternity by the end of the series. Will that happen? Probably not, honestly. But if it did, that would be amazing. If it didn't, that would really suck. But I wouldn't be mad at it. I'd be maybe sad or whatever at it in the show, but I wouldn't be mad at the show. I wouldn't be mad at the people. It's never been a way I could ever view media. It's not true. Absolutely was a way I used to view media, and then I realized it's fucking terrible. So then I stopped doing that. I fucking hated me in my teens. As an adult, I grew the fuck up, and it's not how I view it anymore. I saved myself a lot of fucking heartache that way. I just kind of enjoy things more. I recommend it highly. So like, again, people who wanted that, I understand it. Again, I didn't even really see it myself. Like, it was very much a thing as what could happen or it could totally not. Like, even if Clover had lived, they could easily have just been friends. Pretty good friends. Kind of opposites attract sort of friends, man. They cover each other's weaknesses. They help each other out. They were solid. Fucking Clover gave Crow something to latch onto. Crow gave Clover something to fucking go like, that motherfucker is cynical as shit. Like, I don't know. Like, I didn't even really ever personally see it, but people did, and when I heard about the idea, I was like, cool, that'd be cool if that worked out the way it did. I would just be glad that Crow got something in his life again. Motherfucker has been kicked when he's down constantly. Forever. The whole time. Literally the entire time we've ever known him. The first time we ever meet him, he's a drunk fucking train wreck. I don't know. Crow deserves some good in his fucking life, and if that would have been Clover, that would have been amazing. It didn't work out that way. Whether or not they were the way they were, whether or not they were just friends or not, it didn't work out that way. And I am sorry to the people who wanted it but didn't get it. But in the end, I don't think CRWBY is at fault for that. I don't think CRWBY is at fault for telling their story. I don't think it's fair to them to be like, hey, your story has to change to make it this way. I don't think that's fair. And again, there's some bias as a writer there, but if someone had told me like, hey, this is your life's work, and by the way, it's wrong, and you're not allowed to have it, and you should be ashamed of yourself. Like, if someone did that, I don't know what the fuck I do. Like, that's wrong to do to someone. I don't know. It's, again, the biggest point here I wanted to say was I understand. I can sympathize with people being upset, but in the end, I think I would not put the blame in the same place as other people might, and I do not think, I don't know, it's just, I think I view media in general differently than a lot of other people do, and I honestly think it's a much better way to live it. Again, I am sorry for those who thought they were going to get something that didn't happen. Always keep in mind there's plenty of time more to go. We are not done yet, as you can clearly see. We are not done yet when it comes to this show. And plenty of other shows in the future. And I sincerely hope you can find, representation where you can, and that would make me very happy to see you guys get that. That's, I don't have a problem with that, and it's something I personally would really like to see. If it had been that way, that would have been awesome. But it's not, and I still think that's awesome. In the end, it happened the way it did, and it happened the way the story was going to go, and I think that's the right thing. I do hope you guys can find something here eventually. Anyway, that was kind of where I wanted to go with the Clover thing. In a similar vein, touching onto that, though, is I left off, we were talking about Crow and Robin, together on their thing. And honestly, pretty much since we first got introduced to Robin, I always liked kind of how she just visually, always kind of matched with Crow in a lot of ways. And I like that a lot. And obviously, the first thing we ever had of those two was them fighting in the intro together. It was the first thing we ever really saw of them, other than like the posters for Robin, and that like one time she looks off into the distance at the monitor or whatever. So obviously my first thoughts kind of drove them together, and I wanted to see how they would interact with each other and what they'd, what their situation would be like. And I think potentially if those two are going to be kind of together in a way, working together or whatever the case may be in this coming volume, I think I'd very much like to see, because I think those two, in a lot of ways, I think they're also kind of very interesting paired up together. Obviously, I don't know Robin's situation. Again, like, I think I've made a joke about it. I don't remember if it was the Discord the last episode, but like if it had worked out the other way and it was Robin, I'm like, well, I don't know if Robin even has she might even have a thing for Fiona. I don't know what the whole situation is with her life either. But like, I'm just saying, Crow being sad makes me sad. And I like Robin a lot. She's really cool. Christina V's the shit. I want to see much more of Robin as we go along. I think she has... I just think... I was going to say she has potential to be a fun character. I think she is a fun fucking character. And I fucking love her sass. Her sass is very, very Crow-like. Like, Clover and Crow in a lot of ways are opposites, and it very much has that opposites attract sort of things. Robin and Crow very much to me feel like the opposite. And they attract. No, but like they feel very much kind of, to use a really shitty pun, like they're birds of a feather. Because they're both The name also really helps, is what I'm saying. Like, it's, I don't know, I would very much like to see how those two interact and get along more as we go along, and whether that would just be as friends, allies, or whatever the case. At this point, I'm trying to be gentle so that I wouldn't irritate anyone who was like, "Well, so you this whole thing talking about Chloe and Crover, Chloe and Crow." Yes, talking about Stone, talking about Chloe and Crover, and then you're all over here talking about Crow and Robin, and I'm like, well, yeah. I am, because Robin's here. And at this point, I just want Crow to have some fucking happiness in his life. He has Ruby and Yang a little, and that's it. Raven's an ass. He and Ty don't really get along. Summer's gone. Let him have some... Ozpin fucking fell through. James fell through. Let him have something. Let him have a friend. Let him have... true love. I don't know, whatever the case may be, and I would be interested to see where it goes with Robin. That's the thing, is friend, ally, or whatever, I do want to see that. And if it did go that way, much like the Crow and Clover thing, 100% on board. Maybe even a little more so, but it's a little bit of a bias, because let's be real, Robin's the shit. And Clover was a lucky boy. He was cool, but like, he wasn't Robin. Had that whole bit trying to be as even smooth as I can on it, and then there's like, but Robin's cool though. Anyway, my thoughts on it, and I'd be curious to see where it goes from there. That was the biggest point. This is a 2-hour long video. Holy shit, fuck. Anyway, that was why I wanted to do an extra video on it instead of what I was gonna do or what I did. But we're here now, and that's fine. Point was, I understand where people are coming from, but I don't think it's wrong for being the way it is. Anyway, there's that. Last thing I'll end with is, holy fucking shit, Salem's army is fucking crazy looking. I replayed in my head over and over what I assumed the scene would look like when the Barringles finally showed up. I gotta be 100% honest with you. That was not it. That was as infinitely more than what I was expecting. I was like, it's going to be a thing. No, it's going to be actual hell. So that's horrifying beyond belief, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Also, baby girl got a new outfit. To be honest, I'll get you a different tailor. I'm not knocking the character designers. I'm just saying it's not my kind of outfit over here. Like, get you a cabbie hat. Maybe that's all I had. Point is, that was the only thing I was able to pull out was like cabbie hat. Anyway, point is, that's some crazy shit. I'm very curious to see where that goes. And that seems very significant way to start off for the next volume. That is in there. Like, I was assuming, like, well, at this point, I'll assume she'll be showing up here halfway through the next volume. No, she gonna just be there. What the fuck is volume 7 or 8 even gonna be? This is gonna be fucking war. What the fuck? Like, how are you gonna even kind of do that? Like, are we losing Atlas in the first, like, 2 episodes? I don't know, man, but it's gonna be fucking crazy. Anyway, with that, I think I have officially kind of touched on everything, at least a little bit, and I think I'm officially going to call it quits here for this episode of RWBY, and for this volume of RWBY. I cannot say thank you all enough for just being awesome this year and last year too. You guys have been amazing to me, and I cannot stress that enough. I love you all so much for joining me on my favorite thing. Again, like, it's my favorite thing. This and Pokemon, that's it, man. And so when those two things get love, it means the world to me that I get to spend time talking about this thing I adore with you guys. So thank you so fucking much. Like, I know I'm not the best when it comes to the RWBY YouTuber side of things. I ain't Dan, I ain't Arnold, I ain't Calaxon, I ain't fucking certain men's Rizagi, the Miscast. Like, I'm not always. I'm not these people. I really just turned into pace there at the end and definitely named someone who wasn't part of. I always fuck it up. Because I watch one person who does this stuff over here who has a name that's very similar to someone who does other stuff here in the RWBY stuff, except for that's not their name anymore, so I just look like a dipshit. Hopefully it all just turned into word soup and no one could hear it. Point is, I'm nothing special. I ain't got nothing too crazy going on. I ain't got no big numbers. I don't always explode into emotion as much as other people do. Not that that's a bad thing by a mile. I'm not the most analytical motherfucker on the planet. I just like talking about my favorite thing, and the fact that you guys give me the opportunity to do that means the world to me. I fucking love you people. Thank you so much for spending your time with me and for joining me once again on this journey. I don't know, man. I don't know what I can say more than that. You guys mean the world to me. So I'm officially going to call it here. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys did, please give it some love, some support. Share it with your friends, your family, all that sort of stuff. Your enemies. Maybe don't do that. Again, the one time that did happen, it made me very sad because they came and yelled at me. It was real depressing, to be honest with you. Put me in a slump for a while. I eventually got through it, but it was really bumming me out. Anyway, thank you all so much. Love you dearly. I will see you guys next time, whenever that happens to be. I suspect it will be, actually, especially since I spent this video talking about the other stuff I was going to maybe do an extra video on. Probably won't be doing it then. I suppose that will be the Volume 7 soundtrack whenever that ends up dropping, because apparently I missed Fear. And I'm sure it was a great song, and I hate myself for it. And that sucks. But you know what? It's gonna make it more fucking enjoyable when I finally do get around to it. Anyway, I love you all dearly. I'll see you guys then. Until then, though, guys, take care. I love you. Toodles, doodles, and lemons. Love yourself some Michiru, even though she's not in this shit. Weiss. We'll go with Weiss. Penny's great too. RWBY was really, really good. I really love her new outfit. She's great. And she's just RWBY. And Yang is cool. Blake's cool. I mentioned I like Robin. Crow's my boy. All Team Juniper. And bye. I'm gone.
Real satisfying to watch Cinder get her ass kicked again, though, I gotta say.